Oh, you didn't know about the South Africa trip? My sister Helen said on the phone, pretending to sound surprised. I thought Mom told you. We're all going next month, Mom, Dad, Larry, and me. But someone needs to stay back and look after the pets. Mom said she'd ask you. I stood in my kitchen, gripping my coffee mug so tightly I thought it might crack. My name is Tyler, and I had just found out that my whole family planned a tropical vacation without even telling me. What made it worse was that I found out by accident, during what was supposed to be a normal call about Mom's upcoming birthday. No, Helen, Mom didn't say anything about the South Africa, I said, trying to keep calm. Or about watching the pets. Well, you know how she is, Helen said, laughing. She probably just forgot. But you're not busy, right? You can take care of Rocky and Max for the week. Mom was counting on you, since you're the only one not going. The only one not going because they didn't invite me. I started thinking about all those family dinners where they must have talked about the trip. It all made sense now, the quiet conversations that stopped when I walked into the room. How Mom had casually asked about my work schedule. Even how Dad recently asked if I was dating someone. They were all just making sure I'd be free to stay home and pet sit. That evening, Mom finally called. Honey, I've been meaning to talk to you. We need a small favor. Let me guess, I said. You want me to watch the dogs while you're all in the South Africa? There was no way to hide how upset I was. Oh, so Helen told you, she said. Yes, that would be such a big help. You know Rocky gets nervous at the kennel, and Max needs his medicine twice a day. We'll only be gone for 9 days. She kept talking about flight times, the resort, all the little details of their trip. Not once did she say she wished I could come. Not even a simple, maybe next time. She kept talking about Rocky's special food and how Max needed his medicine on time, like those things would somehow make up for the fact that they planned a whole family vacation without me. So, you'll do it? She asked cheerfully. Your father already told the kennel we wouldn't need them. And Helen's so excited. She found this perfect little resort with amazing snorkeling. You know how much she loves the water. Of course she had. My family had always done things like this, making big decisions without ever asking me. To them, I was just the reliable one. Lauren, the one they could count on. The one who never complained, never said no, never got in the way with her own needs or plans. I'll think about it, I said quietly, already opening my laptop and searching for travel websites. This wasn't new. It started years ago when Helen got into Milwaukee. My parents threw her a huge party, custom banners, catered food, and all their friends came to celebrate her big achievement. But when I got into Chicago University a year earlier, with a full academic scholarship, they just nodded and said, "That's nice, dear." My acceptance letter stayed on the fridge for 3 days. Then it got replaced by Helen's summer dance recital schedule. Helen had always been the star of the family. She was the fun one, the pretty one, the favorite. Even when she dropped out of Milwaukee after 3 years and flew to Europe to find herself, my parents supported her. They even sent her money every month for what they called her self-discovery journey. Meanwhile, I worked 3 jobs through college, graduated with top honors, and built a solid career in marketing. What did that earn me? Just the role of being the family's go-to backup plan. That night, after talking to Mom, I kept browsing travel websites. One destination caught my eye, Heraklion, a small, beautiful island in Netherlands. I had always dreamed of going there since my college photography class. The dates matched perfectly with my family's South Africa trip, and there was even a seat sale going on. My mouse hovered over the Book Now button when my phone buzzed with a message from Helen. Mom says you're acting weird about watching the dogs. Come on, Lauren, don't be difficult. It's not like you have vacation days saved up. What would you even do with time off? You never go anywhere fun. The truth was, I had 4 weeks of vacation saved. My family just assumed I never traveled because I had no fun plans. They completely forgot I had been running a travel blog for 3 years, one that had slowly started getting a good number of followers. But just like everything else I did, my photography in college, my writing in high school, they saw it as Lauren's little hobby. Then my dad called. Princess, your mom's upset. You know how Rocky gets at the kennel. He barely ate last time. Did it ever cross anyone's mind to invite me on the trip? I asked quietly. The silence on the phone told me everything. Well, he said awkwardly, Helen said you probably couldn't take time off work. And your mom likes to plan these things fast. Larry already paid for their room. Right, I said flatly. Just like she planned my college graduation party. Oh wait, she didn't, because Helen's semester abroad came up and everyone flew to London instead. That's not fair, Lauren. Your sister needed the family's support during her journey of self-discovery. I stared at my laptop screen, looking at the beautiful photo of Heraklion. Something inside me changed. For years, I had been the one they could always count on, the responsible one, the one who gave up her plans to help theirs. But in that moment, everything became clear. I'll let you know about the dogs tomorrow, I said, then hung up the call and clicked book now on my flight to Netherlands. The next morning, my phone was full of messages. Mom had sent 7 texts, ranging from guilt-tripping me to demanding I change my mind. Helen had left 4 voicemails, each one ruder than the last. Even my dad, who usually stayed out of arguments, sent me a long email saying I was being unfair. I waited until our weekly family dinner to share the news. Like always, everyone was at my parents' house, talking excitedly about their upcoming South Africa trip. During a break in the conversation, I spoke up. I've made other plans for those dates, I said. You'll need to find someone else to watch Rocky and Max. My mom's fork hit her plate. What do you mean, other plans? What could be more important than helping your family? My trip to Netherlands, I replied calmly. I took a sip of water and watched their faces go from confused to shocked. Netherlands? Helen laughed. You're not going to Netherlands. I pulled out my phone and showed them my booking. Actually, I am. 9 days in Heraklion, starting the same day you. All leave for the South Africa. You can't, my mom said, looking panicked. What about the dogs? The kennel is already full. That sounds like your problem, I said, my voice steady. Maybe Larry can help since he's close enough to be invited on the trip. That's different, Helen said quickly. Larry's my boyfriend. And he's allergic to dogs. How convenient, I replied. Then I stood up and grabbed my things. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You always do when it matters to you. Lauren, sit down, my dad said firmly. You're acting childish. This isn't like you. That's the real issue, isn't it? I said. You've all decided who I'm supposed to be. The reliable one. The one who's always free to help. The one who never gets included. I looked around the table. Did it ever cross your minds that I might want to be part of the vacation? That I have my own life and my own plans? No one said a word. My mom looked like she might cry. Helen just sat there, shocked. My dad wouldn't even look at me. I have to go, I said, walking toward the door. I need to buy swimsuits. Heraklion has amazing beaches. Just like I thought, the reaction afterward was intense. My mom started a guilt campaign, calling every relative she could. Aunt Judith called and told me I was selfish. My cousin Megan sent long texts about how family should always help each other. Even my grandmother chimed in, though she seemed more confused about why I couldn't take care of the dogs from Netherlands. Helen took a different approach. She showed up at my apartment without warning. You're only doing this to get back at us, she said as she walked in without asking. This isn't like you, Lauren. You've always been the responsible one. The responsible one, I repeated quietly. I repeated her words. You mean the convenient one? The one who's always expected to drop everything whenever someone else needs help. That's not fair, Helen said. We really do appreciate everything you do. Really? Then tell me, when was the last time any of you actually showed that appreciation? When did you include me in any family plans instead of just expecting me to fill in the gaps? Helen dropped onto my couch, her blonde hair still looking perfect even though she was upset. We didn't think you'd want to come to the South Africa. You're always busy with work. Did you ask me? I asked. Did anyone even try to find out if I wanted to go on a vacation with my own family? Well, no, but... You all just assume things about my time, my life, and what matters to me. And you got so used to using me that you didn't even bother hiding your South Africa trip. That's how little you thought of me. Helen's face turned red. Mom and Dad are really upset. They might have to cancel the trip if they can't find someone to take care of the dogs. That sounds like a them problem, I said, using one of Helen's own favorite phrases. When did you get so cold? I'm not cold, I said. I'm just done being the family's doormat. I opened my phone and showed her my travel blog. See this? I have followers, people who actually care about what I share. I have a life outside of being your backup. Helen scrolled through the blog. Her annoyed expression slowly changed to surprise. These photos are really good. When did you get into photography? 4 years ago. Not that anyone noticed. The next family dinner was uncomfortable. My mom had covered the dining room table with all of the dog supplies, special food, medicine, toys, like some kind of guilt display. She kept giving me long, sad looks while talking in detail about how hard it would be to take care of Rocky and Max. The medicine needs to be given exactly 15 hours apart, she said while shaking Max's pill bottle. And Rocky needs his special blanket at bedtime, or he gets anxious. The kennel just won't understand all this. I'm sure they will, I replied calmly as I served myself more potatoes. That's literally their job. My dad cleared his throat. Princess, we could pay you to watch them. Make it worth your time. My ticket to Netherlands cost $5,000, I said. And it's non-refundable. Helen, who hadn't said much since her visit to my apartment, suddenly spoke up. I looked at Lauren's travel blog last week. Did you guys know she has over 40,000 followers? My mom barely looked up from organizing the pet supplies. That's nice, dear. Now about the dogs. No, Mom, I'm serious. Look at these photos she took in Ottawa last year, Helen said, showing my blog on her phone. She's actually really good at this, Helen said. For the first time that evening, my mom actually looked at me, not past me, not around me, but directly at me. You went to Ottawa? She asked. I've been to lots of places, I said. I take short trips whenever I can. I write about them, take photos, and share tips. People follow my blog to learn about good hotels and restaurants. My dad leaned over to look at Helen's phone. These photos look professional, Lauren. Why didn't you ever tell us about this? I did, I said. 3 Thanksgivings ago. But you all changed the topic to Helen's new yoga certificate. The room went quiet. You could feel the weight of the moment. My mom slowly sat down, still holding Rocky's favorite tennis ball. We haven't been very good at listening to you, have we? She asked. No, I said. You haven't. But that doesn't change the fact that we need someone to watch the dogs, she added quickly. And just like that, the moment was over. I stood up. I'm going to Netherlands, Mom. With or without your approval. Maybe now you'll know what it feels like when your plans get messed up. As the day of my flight got closer, my family went through every stage of emotions. My mom started with denial, then moved to anger. She called me ungrateful. My dad tried to make a deal, saying he'd pay for a different Netherlands trip if I went another time. Helen went back and forth between sadness, "You're ruining everything," and finally, "Maybe we should have invited you." 3 days before my trip, my mom made one last try. She came to my apartment carrying photo albums. She showed me old pictures, me watching Helen's dog while she was in Europe, taking care of our pets, always being the responsible one. You've always been so good with animals, she said, flipping through the pages. Remember when you took care of Helen's hamster in high school? I remember, I said. I also remember missing my friend's sweet 16 to do it, while Helen was at the beach with her friends. That's different. You didn't mind back then.
No, Mom.
I did mind. I just wasn't allowed to say it. She closed the album with a loud snap. Well, I hope you're happy. We had to cancel our trip. The kennel is full, and no one else can take the dogs for that long. I didn't answer right away. I opened my laptop and turned the screen toward her. There was a message from Mrs. Christina, a kind neighbor who lives 3 floors down. It read, "Happy to watch Rocky and Max for a week. I love dogs. Just let me know when to come." I found a solution, I said. Mrs. Christina is retired, loves dogs, and is happy to help for the same price as the kennel. My mom stared at the screen. But Why didn't you tell us sooner? Because, I said softly, for once. I wanted you all to feel what it's like not to have me as your backup plan, I said. To know how it feels when someone ruins your carefully made plans without thinking about your feelings. That's a bit petty, don't you think? Mom replied. No, Mom, I said calmly. That's just being human. And maybe next time you plan a family vacation, you'll remember this feeling and think about including your other daughter. On the morning of my flight, I woke up to a bunch of notifications. My mom had tagged me in a post on social media, something she'd never done before. It was a photo from my travel blog one I had taken in Ottawa. She had written a long caption saying how proud she was of her talented daughter and how she could wait to see my pictures from Netherlands. Helen texted me right away. Mom's trying to impress her country club friends. She's telling everyone she helped plan your Netherlands trip. I wasn't shocked. My mom had always cared a lot about appearances. Now that she realized I had a successful blog, she saw it as something she could brag about. But her social media post didn't erase the years she had ignored my dreams and passions. A little later, my dad stopped by before I left for the airport. He looked a bit nervous, holding something wrapped in a small bag. Your sister showed me your blog, he said. I saw you mention needing a new camera lens for low-light shots. I thought maybe you could use this in Netherlands. He handed it to me. It was the exact lens I'd been saving up to buy. Part of me wanted to say no, to prove I didn't need their late support. But when I looked at him, I saw something new, real interest in something that mattered to me. Thanks, Dad, I said, taking it. Want to see the kind of photos I'm hoping to take? He sat down with me and listened for a full hour while I talked about photo angles, lighting, and camera settings. He even pulled up my blog on his phone and followed it right in front of me. You know, he said as he got up to leave, I canceled my part of the South Africa trip. I told your mother and sister to go without me. Dad, you didn't have to do that. Yes, I did, he said. Someone needs to look after the dogs properly, and Mrs. Christina might need help. Also, I want to see your Netherlands photos as soon as you post them. Maybe you can teach me how to leave a comment on your blog. That afternoon, as I boarded my flight to Netherlands, my phone buzzed with new messages. Helen had sent one that actually felt real. Have a great trip, sis. Your photos better be amazing. My mom had texted too, with instructions on how to check the security cameras at their house, so I could keep an eye on the dogs. She clearly missed the point, but at least she wasn't trying to make me feel guilty anymore. But it was my dad's message that made my eyes fill with tears. Just posted my first blog comment. Hope I did it right. Make sure you take care of yourself in Netherlands, not just your camera. Love, Dad. As I settled into my seat, I thought about how it sometimes takes something big to break old habits. My family had spent years treating me like the dependable background character in their story. Maybe now they were finally seeing me step into the spotlight of my own life. Heraklion was more beautiful than I had imagined. Every morning, I woke up to breathtaking sunrises over the blue-domed churches. My days were filled with taking photos of narrow cobblestone streets and quiet, perfect beaches. My blog followers loved the daily posts. But what surprised me most were the comments from my own family. My dad commented on every single post. At first, it was things like, beautiful sunset, honey. But soon he started writing thoughtful notes about the lighting and angles in my photos. Helen began sharing my posts on her social media, writing captions like, look what my amazing sister is doing. It was a big change from the usual way she tried to compete with me. My mom had a different approach. She called every day to talk about the dogs, like she was trying to remind me of what I had left behind. Rocky misses you, she'd say. Or, Max won't eat unless your dad hand feeds him. When that didn't work, she tried something else, giving me feedback on my blog. Don't you think you've posted too many sunset photos? That restaurant review felt a little harsh. You don't want to hurt someone's business. One evening, while I sat at a quiet cafe overlooking the cliffs, I got a call from Mrs. Christina. Your mother has been here 7 times today, she said, laughing. She brings me coffee and keeps asking about how the dogs are doing. I think she's having a hard time letting go of control. I'm really sorry, I began. But Mrs. Christina just chuckled. Don't be. I told her after 42 years of teaching high school, 5 dogs are easy. She didn't like hearing that very much. That same night, my dad messaged me again. Your mom booked a hotel for the rest of the South Africa trip. Says she can't relax knowing strangers are with the dogs. Helen's not happy about it. For a moment, I felt a little guilty. But then I remembered all the times my plans, my needs, and my feelings were pushed aside just to keep the family happy. My mom choosing to ruin her own vacation wasn't my fault. Instead of ending my trip early or saying sorry, I kept posting more photos. I started writing about traveling alone as a woman, about breaking free from family pressure, and about learning to follow your own path. The response was huge. Hundreds of people left comments, sharing similar stories and thanking me for encouraging them to stand up for themselves. My blog's followers doubled, then tripled. A travel magazine reached out and asked to feature my photos from Netherlands. Helen called to tell me her yoga students were now following my journey. They even wanted me to come teach a photography class at her studio. You know what's funny, she said. I always thought I was the brave one when I went to Europe to find myself. But really, it was you. You found yourself right here, and we didn't even notice because we were too busy with our own problems. On my last night in Netherlands, I sat on my hotel balcony uploading my photos when I got a message from my mom. It was a photo of my old bedroom, now her home office. The walls were covered with framed pictures from my travels. I had your best shots framed professionally, she wrote. They deserve better than just reposts on my social media. Below that, she sent a longer message. I've been thinking a lot since you've been gone. Your dad said something I didn't want to hear, that we've taken you for granted for too long. We forgot that you have dreams, too. I'm not the best at saying sorry, but I'm trying to show you I care. Mrs. Christina had also been sending me daily dog photos, each one showing Rocky and Max completely happy without my mom fussing over them. The last photo showed my dad teaching Mrs. Christina how to use my blog. They were both smiling, with the dogs resting peacefully nearby. Helen's final photos from the South Africa looked different this time. Instead of perfectly posed pictures, she had tried capturing real moments. Trying to see things through your photographer's eyes, she wrote in the caption. Not as good as yours, but I'm learning to look deeper. Something had changed during those 9 days. My family wasn't perfect. My mom still texted me every day about the dogs. My dad still had trouble using his phone. And Helen still had moments where she felt a little jealous. But they were trying. Sometimes that's all you can really hope for, not a full change, but the effort to see you differently. 7 months after my trip to Netherlands, we had Thanksgiving dinner together. The dining room walls now had my travel photos hanging beside our usual family pictures. My mom even used my blog's logo to make place cards for everyone at the table. It was a small gesture, but it meant everything. We have an announcement, my mom said during dinner. We're planning another family vacation. I got ready to hear something that would leave me out again, but Helen spoke up first. Before you say anything, she said, we want you to help plan it. Your blog followers loved your Netherlands posts so much, we thought you could work your magic on this trip too. My dad pulled out a folder. I've been looking into photography tours in Germany. Thought maybe you could teach us how to take better photos, not just selfies and dog pictures. Then my mom added, trying to sound casual, Mrs. Christina already agreed to watch Rocky and Max. I asked her months ago, just to be safe. I looked around the table and really saw my family. My mom was still a bit controlling, but now she was trying to use it in a good way. My dad had found something we could share, photography. And Helen? She finally saw me as her equal, not as someone to compete with. Germany sounds perfect, I said, pulling out my phone to show them some early ideas. But this time, I'm handling the travel plans. Wouldn't have it any other way, my dad said with a smile. You're the expert now.